Hello, what is up guys? In this video we're gonna be building this small application using ChatGPT API. So we're gonna have like a sidebar, and also we're gonna have main section here. Then if I reduce the browser, minimize the browser, we're gonna see that we have a hamburger menu. If we click on that, as you can see, we get the sidebar back. If I click on here, it's gonna be hide. Also, if I go to the input, I'm just gonna say, for example, hello, hit enter, the request is gonna send, and the API respond with this: how can I assist you today? And now this request is gonna be saved here, so we can have a history here. If I do, for example, 1 + 1, if I do that, it's gonna say the answer is 2, and the request is gonna be saved here like history. If I click on that, I get back that here. So here we go, this is our application. And also we're gonna be creating an account on the ChatGPT API and have a API key. So basically you need to create a account there. So here we go, let's get into it. So first of all, we're gonna create a folder here. We name it ChatGPT. Then I'm gonna open Visual Studio Code. And within here, I'm gonna go and say, open that folder that we just created. Nice. Now I'm gonna create a folder here. I'm just gonna name it index.html. I'm just gonna say doc, hit enter, and there we go. We generate this default code. Now I'm gonna open this using 5 server. I'm gonna open this page on the browser using 5 server. Guys, if you don't have 5 server, you can just go to the extension and write live server or 5 server, and you install it, and it's gonna be available for you here. I'm gonna open up with 5 server. Here we go. Now if I, as you can see here, we have nothing, we have a blank page. So I'm just gonna divide this so we can see what we're doing. Nice. Here we go, do that. Nice. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start coding. First of all, I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna say web school GPT. Oops, web school GPT. Nice. Then in the body, we're gonna say starts with the sidebar section. So basically we're gonna say a section here, section which have a class of sidebar, and inside that we're gonna have a pattern. This pattern have an ID of new chat. Now after that we're gonna have like, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna have something like this one, where we could have this plus button and this new chat. So basically this is a button, and also we're gonna have this color, and also we're gonna have this one on the sidebar. So let's go and build that. Now I'm gonna go and say here button. Inside this button I'm gonna get this inside this button I'm gonna get this little icon, this plus icon. So I'm just gonna copy the SVG from here like that, oops, as you can see, guys, I will provide this code on the GitHub, so you can just get these icons and all that stuff, so don't worry about that. Now we have this SVG inside this button, and also we're gonna write in the SVG, we're gonna say new chat. Here we go, as you can see here. So we have this icon, and also we have this new chat. So now next thing what we need to do is we're gonna add this history. So I'm just gonna say here we have a div, our class of history. Nice. And also we're gonna have little navigation here, which basically have class of nav, and within here we're gonna say made by web school GPT. Nice. Now guys, I'm gonna style this sidebar. I'm just gonna go to here, just create style.css. I'm gonna link it, so we can go here, say link style.css, which is really cool. Let's go to the style.css. First of all, I'm gonna import some fonts. I'm just gonna go to Google Fonts. Within here, I'm just gonna search for something called Archival. Enter. As you can see, let's choose this one. Let's choose this one and this one. Nice. I'm just gonna go import. As you can see, it said you can import it in the style. I'm just gonna copy this. Here we go. And I go back to my style. Just gonna say paste, and I save. Nice. Now what I'm going to do, I'm gonna go and say body. Let's do some styling. I'm just gonna say here body. In this body, I'm just gonna say margin 0, also padding 0, and also I'm gonna say box sizing border box. So we're doing this because so we can prevent the browser to take any margins, so we set everything to 0. And also we're gonna say the font family, it is going to be Archival. Let's go back to here. I'm just gonna say search here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this, go back here and paste it here. Oops. Copy and paste here. Nice. So let's go back there. As you can see, the font changed. Now inside here, I'm just gonna say the width is 100%. There we go. Also, we're gonna say the display is flex. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm gonna say sidebar. We style the sidebar. I'm gonna say the color is white. Also display flex. Next direction column. I'm gonna say background color, it is going to be 202123. And also I'm gonna say the width is 270 pixel, and the height is going to be 100 VH view height. So it takes always the height of the browser, as you can see. Now, as you can see, we have done with this, which is amazing. We have this plus button here. So the next thing that I'm going doing is the sidebar button, SVG and button. So I'm just gonna say sidebar and SVG, and I'm just gonna give a width to SVG 15 pixel and the height is 15 pixel. And also I'm just gonna give it some padding, because as you can see here we need to give it some padding. So let's go ahead and say padding. I'm just gonna say 0 pixel from the top and the bottom and 5 pixel from the right and the left. Nice. Now I'm gonna go ahead also, I'm just gonna say sidebar bottom, and this I'm just gonna give a background color of inherit, so it can edit this color, this black color. If I say that, as you can see, it's inherit that color. So also I'm gonna say the color inherit also, so it can inherit the color of the text, white text of this sidebar. As you can see, this is the parent, it has this color of white, so it can inherit it from here, from this children, which is the parent, as well as the background color, as well this background color from the parent, as you can see. Now I can go down, I'm just gonna say padding, it's going to be 6 pixels from all the sides, and also I'm just gonna say border radius, it's going to be 1 pixel, solid and gray. Now oops, gray. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say also this is the border. Oops, it's a mistake, sorry about that. As you can see, we have the border now. And also what we're gonna be saying here, we're gonna do like border radius, it's, let's just say 5 pixel. There we go. And cursor pointer, we're gonna give a font size of 14 pixel, which is really cool. As you can see now, we did that here. That's nice. Now let's go ahead and edit the new chat ID. So we have this new chat button, it has this ID. Okay, so let's go ahead, I'm just gonna say sidebar, oops, new chat. So I'm gonna say here display flex, as you can see, display flex now, and I'm gonna say line items to be center, and also the margin to be 10 pixel from all the sides. As you can see now, this button new chat ID took the margin from the top and left and the right and the bottom, which is 10 pixel. This is really cool. And now what we're gonna be doing, if we go back to the index.html, what we have else here, I think this is pretty much it for the this sidebar. So let's go ahead and add another things. So we're gonna go ahead and create the main section. We're gonna create this one. Oops, we're gonna go ahead and create this main section here. So let's go. I'm gonna go and say here, like, what is this? We have this section, and also we're gonna have this section. We're gonna say section, which has a class of main, and within here h1 we're gonna say web school GPT. I hit save, As you can see, we got this one here. Now I'm gonna go ahead also, I'm just gonna say we're gonna have like a div which has an ID of output. So now this ID of output, if we go to this what we created earlier, let's just see what does that mean. Well, the output is basically, it's like, second, this one is where we can add the response of the that you get from the API. So if we send, for example, here hello, as you can see now the output is going to have these things. We're going to have the question, user question, and the bot response, as you can see. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm gonna say here that's, oops, okay, I'm gonna say here that we have a output, div id output, and also we're gonna have like inside that section we're gonna have like a section which has a container, class of container. Inside that section we're gonna have like these things here, which are the items. Let me show you in a second. Oops, let me show you in a second what I'm saying. Open with Vive server. As you can see here, we can have, we're gonna make these things here. We're gonna have like sections and make these examples and capabilities and limitations using display flags. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and say, wait a minute, just like that. If I do that, I'm gonna say we're gonna have a div with a class of item, and inside that we're gonna have h2, and also we're gonna have like h2. Inside that h2 we're gonna have the icon. We're gonna have the icon first, so I'm just gonna get the icon. Oops. So as you can see, we'll get this one, and also we're gonna say here examples. Nice. And the second thing, we're gonna have like the lists. So we're gonna say UL. Oops. And then we're gonna have like barns. Barn. Oops. Barn. And this barn has a class of btn item q. So I'm just gonna say here, explain quantum computing in simple terms, and I'm gonna get this row. I'm just gonna put it here. As you can see, there we go, we got this one. Now I'm gonna copy that and paste. I don't want to do that for now. I'm just gonna copy that, paste it 3 times here, save. As you can see, we have these 3. And also we can have like, we're gonna do the same thing for this one. We're gonna do the same thing for capabilities and the limitation. So let's go ahead first and add the texts. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna copy that. I don't want to repeat. Keep writing and you waiting. I'm just gonna copy that from the previous. Wait a minute. Just gonna copy. It's the same thing, that just I don't want to write while you are watching. and wasting time, I'm just gonna copy that. There we go. I go back here, we have this one, and also we're gonna have these two. As you can see, we add that. Now let's go to style and style those things. I'm gonna go here and say, oops, wait a minute. Now I'm gonna start in editing. I'm just gonna say here, we're gonna have main. This main is gonna have display flex, and we're gonna say flex direction is column align item sender. So we are making this section like display flex and column like this and this and this and this. Now I'm gonna say also justify content space between, so it creates some space between these elements. As you can see here, it's overflowed here, but don't worry about that for now. We're gonna fix that using CSS. I'm gonna go down a little bit. I'm just gonna say the height of this section is going to be 100 VH. So it's gonna be like the view height of the browser. And also I'm just gonna say the width, it's going to be 100%. As you can see now, it's take all the width. Now I'm gonna go ahead also, I'm just gonna say overflow auto. So it's, as you can see now, we got it back here. The overflow auto did the trick. As you can see, if I remove that, as you can see, now if I got it back, as you can see, overflow auto did the trick. That's nice. So we're gonna go down, we're gonna say outputs, where we can write the user question and the put response. Output is going to be display flex also, and also we're gonna make a flex direction of column. Also we're gonna say gap 2 pixel to create some gap between the user question and the bot response. Overflow y is auto, and the padding is going to be 20 pixel, and the width is 80%. Now I'm gonna get rid of that for now. I am going to style these things, these lists. So I'm gonna go a little bit down. I'm just gonna say the container, it's going to be display flex, and I'm just gonna say container item, it's going to be display flex, and flex direction column. Also we're gonna say align items to center, so we can align them like that. So I'm just gonna go a little bit down. I'm just gonna say item h2, oops, and now I'm just gonna the h2, which is this one. So we have inside that we have the SVG and this one. So I'm just gonna say here display flex, as you can see, and also flex direction column, and I'm gonna say the align item center, margin 3 pixel top and bottom, and 0 pixel from left and right, and the font size is going to be 1.1.5 rem. Nice. We are doing good so far, so we're gonna continue. I'm just gonna go and say the item button, which is this one. The buttons, where we have this, remember these things here, this is the buttons, we're gonna style them. I'm gonna go and say padding is going to be 10 pixel, margin 5 pixel and 0 pixel from left and right, font size is 0.9 rem, and max width is going to be 290 pixel. This is the max width of this button. Now we're gonna style the SVGs. As you can see, this is big and this is small, this is small, so we're gonna style them to be unique. I'm gonna say here item SVG. I'm gonna give it a width of 30 pixel and also a height of 30 pixel. Nice, as you can see here. Now we're gonna go ahead and style the UL, which the parent of these parts. We're gonna say here, so we're gonna say item UL display, flex, and flex direction column, which is really cool. And here we go. I think we are good to go now, as you can see. Now I'm gonna go ahead and say here, I think it is done with this. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. Also, I can go to here in HTML. So we have done with this section, not this section, the container section, not the main section. Now after that, what I am going to do, we're gonna add a div of bottom section. So what we can have, we're gonna build this one. The bottom section is this one basically. Let me show you what I mean. This is the bottom section. There we go. This main, we have this the bottom section, which we have input and this text here. So let's go and create that. So let's go. I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna say after the container section, which is this one, I'm gonna say here a div with a class of bottom section. So inside that, I'm gonna say that we're gonna have like a div or class of inputs container. Inside that, we're gonna have inputs. This input's gonna contain a placeholder of send on message, as you can see. Now what I'm gonna be doing, we're gonna go and add that icon here, the submit icon. I'm just gonna go and get it, copy that. All of these icons, you can find them in the GitHub repository, so don't worry about that. If you need an icon, you can just go to the GitHub repository and get it and copy and put it here. So I'm just gonna say button with the ID of submit, and I'm copy paste that. Nice, as you can see, we get this now here. Now we need to make a container so we can have the input and the button together in one container. So how we can do that, we can just go to the style. I'm gonna say here, like, we have a input container, just input container. I'm just gonna say display flex border 2 pixel solid gray. As you can see, we have a border for this container. Now I'm gonna say border reduce to be 5 pixel. Also the width is going to be 100%, and the max width, so we give it a max width of 500 pixel. Now I'm gonna style also the button. I'm just gonna say button border none. So we remove the border from all the buttons that are in this page. We don't want the border for all of these buttons. So I can do input container like this one. I can do like input container and the button, so to remove the border for just this one. But I don't want to remove for all of the buttons, so I'm just gonna say button border none. Here we go. Now next thing I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna say here cursor pointer, and also I'm just gonna give a font size of 1.5 rem. Nice. Now I'm gonna style the inputs. I'm just gonna say here, I'm just gonna say inputs border. We're gonna remove the border for the inputs. If we save, as you can see, the input has no border, but we have the border of the container. Now I'm gonna say here padding, give it some padding, 6 pixel and 6 pixel, from the left and the right, and we give width of 100%. Nice. I think we are doing so far good. Let me show you. As you can see, this is really cool. Now what we're gonna be doing also, we're gonna go ahead and add this thing. As you can see, if I click on that, I want to remove this focus, so I'm just gonna say here input focus. We're gonna say outline none. If I save that, now as you can see, if I what's happened? I did a mistake here. It's input, not a class. If I do that, as you can see, now there is no focus on this input anymore. Nice. Now what I'm going to do, I am gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna add the text. So I'm gonna go and say after this div, I'm just gonna have a div with class of info. Inside that, we're gonna have a p paragraph. I'm just gonna copy the text. I'm just gonna paste it here. As you can see, we added the text here. Nice. We're gonna style this text a little bit. I'm just gonna go there. I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say info font size pixel, and the padding is going to be 5 pixel, and there we go. That's nice. As you can see, this is great for now. I think we need to add something. Let's just go ahead and now what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna go and say we're gonna go to this section, and we need to add how we can say, what is this section of main section? We have this main section here, we have this one, and we have the section container which contain these things, and also we need to add the boot response and boot the user request. So we're gonna add those things after we add JavaScript. Now let's go ahead and set up the API. So I'm gonna go to browser. I'm just gonna say ChatGPT OpenAI, like so. I'm gonna go to the ChatGPT section, and within here, if you don't have an account, you need to create an account. I already have an account, so I'm just gonna log in and then go to API, and within here go to API reference, chat, and create chat completion, and you can just fill out these instructions so you can make your API work. So within here, as you can see, this is the URL that you're gonna use. Also, this is headers, have content type, application JSON, we have authorization, bearer, and your open API key, and also the body, which is the model and the message. And from here you can change in which language you want. For example, here Python, this is what you can do in Python, and also this is with Node.js, and also this is the standard. This is a standard program that you can do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you something. Go to the personal, here your profile, click on the view API case, and within here, from here you can create your secret key. So we're gonna just say create secret key. I'm just gonna say test key. I'm just gonna create secret key, and notice here it says please save this secret key somewhere safe and accessible. For security reasons, you won't be able to view it again. So basically you need to store this API, so if you lose it, you cannot use it again. You need to save it in a place so where you can grab it when you need it. So here it said if you lose this secret key, you will need to generate a new one. So I'm just gonna copy this and go to my browser, Visual Studio Code. I'm gonna go and create a new file. I'm just gonna name it script.js, and within here I'm just gonna put it here for now. I'm gonna go back to the browser. So we did everything, we created our API key. I'm just gonna go back to the page that we were, which is this one. So we need to make our API. So let's fetch this API. Let's go ahead and say within JavaScript, let's link it with the HTML. So go down within here. I already linked it here, so we can just say script here source javascript.js. Nice. I'm gonna go to the script.js, okay. And within here, what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna create a function called get message, or you can name this whatever you want. I'm just gonna say get message or get anything you want from the API. So I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna create a variable called API k equals to this. Then I'm just gonna say here URL, which is basically this one. What is the URL? Oops, the URL. This one, yeah. Put it here. Nice. Now let's go and fetch. I'm just gonna say here fetch and fetch the URL, and we need to give the options here. So it's gonna be like an object. I'm gonna go to here. I'm just gonna say options equals to an object, and within this object we're gonna say method. It's gonna be post, I guess. And if we want also to, let's go ahead for example now and add another thing, which is let's go at the headers. I'm just gonna say headers here. Then within the headers I'm just gonna say authorization. It's gonna be, gonna make it like so. There, I'm just gonna say API. Okay, nice. And also we're gonna add the content type, because if you go back to this, you can see that we need to add the authorization header and also the content type application JSON. I'm just gonna copy this, put it here. This is very cool, but I think we need to do this here and also this here, and that's nice. Now the next thing that we need to add is the body. So we need to add the body. I'm just gonna go to this website. I'm just gonna copy these two, but we need to I'm just gonna go to Node.js. I'm just gonna copy these two, yeah, like so. Go back here, just copy and paste. Nice. Now what I am going to do, I'm just gonna put the options objects here instead, as you can see. Now I think everything is okay, but we forgot to add something, which is we need to make this function as a sync function, and here I'm just gonna say response equals to wait, and there we go. Let's go ahead and see, let's go ahead and console log the response here. I think everything is okay. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go to the browser, and within here I'm just gonna inspect that. Let's do that. Let's call this function first. Let's say here get message. There we go. Also we need to set the body to be like string. I'm just gonna say JSON dot stringify, and I'm gonna wrap it inside this object inside this function. Right, now I'm gonna go to the browser. I'm gonna say inspect console refresh. As you can see, we get response. status it's okay, okay, true. And if we go here, now what we're gonna be doing, I'm just gonna go here, I'm just gonna say that data equals to wait. We need to wait for response dot json. There we go. Go back here. As you can see now, let's say console.log the data. Go back here, refresh. This errors occurs when you have a free API. I mean, because it said here you have a lot of you made a lot of requests. So because you are using free tutorial, sometimes it shows you this error. So just wait a little bit and then refresh. There we go. We get the response. As you can see, this is the data. You can go to, for example, as you can see, we have created. This is the date created and the timestamp basically, and this is the ID, and also this is model, object, and also we have the choices, which is important for us. If you go inspect the choices, object, this choices, or it's an array. Inside of it, it has a object, which basically has these things here: finish reason, index, and also the message. And the message content, it's hello, how I can assist you. This is basically the response that we got from the API. So we need to use this to show it here on this website when we say hello. So when we say hello, we need to add that in the HTML, and also when we get the response, we need to add it here in the HTML also. So now I'm going to HTML. I'm just gonna go to the Visual Studio Code. Within here, I'm just gonna go to HTML. As you can see in this output, we need to add the user question and the boot input. So if we do this here, for example, if I go here and say, also we need, when we press this button, we need this to be disabled. We need to make this display none, so we can show the boot response and the user question. So I'm gonna go for now disable list, so we can work as we want. So I'm just gonna go to the style. I'm just gonna go to style. I'm just gonna say that container, this is called container, as you can see here. This one, it has these items: first item, second item, and third item. We need to disable them. So I'm gonna go to style, search for container here. This is this one. I'm just gonna say for now it's display. Comment this one and say display none. Okay, nice. Now it's gone. I'm gonna go to the back to HTML. I'm just gonna say here, and the output, we need to add our user boot response and user question. So I'm gonna say here that we're gonna have a div with a class of user question. Now inside this div, I'm gonna have like an image. I'm just gonna say image, and the source, it is here. We're gonna make folder here called images, and I'm gonna go to my desktop. I have an image here. I'm gonna grab it, go to this, and I'm gonna put it here. Nice. Then I'm gonna go back to my work. Here we go. Just gonna go here, I'm gonna say images avatar dot jpeg. Nice. Also, I'm just gonna go down a little bit. I'm gonna say this is I'm gonna add here for example, hello. Just say hello. Nice. Now as you can see, the image is big and all that stuff, so let's go to style.css so we can style them. So I'm just gonna go and say user question. Let's go ahead a little bit. Let's go to this one, I guess. Yeah, let's go here. Yeah, here. Oops. I'm gonna say here user question. Oops. And within here, I'm just gonna say display flex, and also I'm just gonna say line items flex start, and flex line height. Let's just say line height is 1.7, and if I go a little bit down in the user question, I'm just gonna give it a padding and a margin. I'm just gonna margin is going to be 5 pixel and also 0 pixel. 5 pixel from top and bottom and 0 pixel from left and right, and the padding is 0 from bottom and top and 10 pixel from left and right. Now for this image, we're gonna give it an ID of avatar. I'm gonna go back here. I'm just gonna say avatar. It's going to be width of 3 pixel, height of 3 pixel, also in width it's going to be 13 pixel. This is the minimum width that it's gonna take. And also we're gonna give it the border radius 15%, so it can be like a profile picture, as you can see. And also I'm gonna say margin right, it's going to be, let's just give it some margin from the right, 5 pixel. There we go, as you can see. Now this is pretty cool. Now what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna add the boot response here. So I'm just gonna go to HTML. I'm just gonna go down this user question. I'm just gonna say div, and within here I'm just gonna say this is div dot boot response, and inside that I'm gonna add we need to add the avatar of the boot. So for now I will not use it for now. I'm just gonna paste the response. So for example, the response hello. So the response is going to be like hello, how I can assist you. Now if I save that, as you can see, I'm gonna go to style. Let's go and style some of this. So I'm just gonna give the same avatar for now. I'm just gonna say here image. I'm just gonna say images until I grab the image for this. So I'm just gonna give it also an ID of avatar. Here we go, as you can see. Now we need to style this to be like display flex and align it in the center, so it can be like this one. I'm gonna go to the style. So let's go to the style and say, where is the bit user question? Also, I'll just do it here. I'm just gonna say put response display flex line items flex start, and also line height, it's going to be 1.4, and this is the same thing for this. Let's just go and say, here we go, save, as you can see now. Nice. So now I am going to get an SVG. I'm gonna change this avatar for the boot. So I'm gonna grab it, I have it here. I'm just gonna go to the and grab it. 1 second. There we go. Let's just I think it is here. Why? Okay, this is it. I'm just grabbing it. There we go. I'm just gonna put it here. Oops, put here. If I save, as you can see now, it is here. Our SVG, it is here. As you can see, I pasted it here inside this boot response. I paste it here. This is our SVG. Nice. I will put this in the GitHub so you can grab it. Now we have this and we have that one. I'm gonna style this a little bit. I'm just gonna go to style, and within here I'm just gonna say boot response. It's going to be the same as the, I'm just gonna say boot response and SVG, and I'll give it the same as the avatar. I'm just gonna do that, paste, there we go. Now it is like that one. Now I'm gonna go and do this in JavaScript, because we did this with HTML, but we need to make this dynamic. I mean, when I click on this submit, I write my question here, click submit, this is gonna be added automatically, dynamically, and this one got added here dynamically. So let's go ahead and do that. I am going to script.js. I'm just gonna, here we need to grab our elements. I'm just gonna grab the submit elements. So when we click on this button, we need to grab this button, we need to grab this input. So we need to grab the container that we made display none. If you remember this one, I'm talking about this one. We set it to display none, so we need to disable that in this style.css. Let's just go to say container. I'm just gonna say display flex because we need to make it display none using JavaScript. I'm just gonna go to script. So let's grab them. Within here, let's say we have const. Let's just say submit button equals to document.query selector, and I'm just gonna say this is this button was a have, I think, let's go back here. What is the submit? It's up down, I guess. Okay, it has ID of submit. I'm just gonna go to script. I'm just gonna say submit, and also we need to grab the input. Oops, I'm just gonna say document.query selector. Let's just say inputs because we have just this input. We need to grab it like so. And also let's just say const container. Here we need to say document dot query selector class container. Nice. I'm just gonna go down a little bit. So when we click on the submit, we need to disable this. I mean, let's just do this there. I'm just gonna take these and make them up there. I'm just gonna say here, just say for example config, so we can make it more structured. There we go. I think, and this will gonna still work because, you know, if you, yeah, this is gonna still work. Let's see. As you can see, we got our response object and all that stuff. Now I'm gonna go back here. I'm just gonna say here that when we click when this function run, we need to set the container dot display style. Just script. I'm just gonna style dot display equals to none. I think this is it. Now if I go to my here, let's just say, if we go back here, as you can see, the container appears, but after the function get message run, it's disappeared. This is really cool. Now let's go back to our Visual Studio Code, and within here also what we're gonna be adding is, I'm just gonna say let's question is going to be input dot value. So we get this input, which is this one, we get the value from it. So this value, it's going to be here. So I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna put it here. I'm just say question this variable. I'm gonna put it here. Sorry, I'm gonna put it here. Nice. Now I think it's gonna work. Let's go ahead. Oops, let's save that. It's gonna run, but with nothing because we sent nothing. So let's, I will show you in a second what I mean by that. Wait, so we sent this question, but it is empty because our input has nothing for now. We didn't write anything. So let's just also make this submit button. I'm gonna go to here. I'm just gonna say events. Within here, I'm just gonna say like, oops, we made mistake here. Events. I'm just gonna say, I'm not just an event. I'm just gonna say submit button dot add event listener. I'm just gonna say click, and we need to do is get message, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and delete this. Now if I go to this, if I say hello, if I click on that, this is disappear, and we're gonna get the response from here, which is really cool. Nice. Now what we're gonna be doing also, we need to go here. I'm just gonna delete this for now. We need to add them automatically, dynamically. So I'm just gonna go and say here, let's just say we're gonna create this using JavaScript. So this is a div that contains an image and also a text. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm just gonna say const user question equals to document dot create element. I'm just gonna say a div, and also let's just create the image, user image. I'm just gonna say document dot create elements, which is an image, and let's just assign to this image like the set attributes. Set attributes, and this attribute is going to be ID, and also value is avatar. Copy this 3 times because we need to add also the source as like this one. Let me show you. We need to add the source and the alt like avatar. I'm just gonna go back here. I'm just gonna say source, and the source is going to be the path of the image, which is this one. Nice. And also let's add this one, which is alt. I'm just gonna add alt. Let's just say avatar. Nice. Now next thing that we're gonna be doing, we need to add this user image. In the user image we need to add in the user question we need to add user image inside it. So how we can do that? We can just go ahead and say user question append child like a node, append this user image. Very nice. And also I'm gonna set the class for the user question dot class list. It's going to be add. Let's add this user question. Cool. Now what we're gonna be doing, also we need to add the text for we added the image, and also we need to add the text now. So I'm gonna add the text, which is what we got from the input. So I'm gonna say here user question dot append. This is the question, or you can say input value. So why I did append here and here I did append child? Basically append child needs to add a node. So when you use append child, you need to use for nodes, because this what you're gonna add, it's like a node, but this append adds everything like text, nodes, and all that stuff. So that's what I did here, append, and here append child. So if you want to add a text, you can use this append, but if you want to add a node, you need to use append child. Now I'm gonna go back a little bit down. Let's see how this is gonna work. I'm gonna go and delete this one from the HTML. So I'm just gonna say delete this one. I'm just gonna go here. I'm just gonna say hi, what's up? Let's run this. Oops, we didn't get runs, but we didn't see this here. Well, this is basically we didn't add the user question. I mean, we didn't add this to the HTML. So how we can do that? Well, basically what we need to do is we need to let's get the output. We need to add it here inside this output. So I'm just gonna go and within here the get message, or within here let's grab the output. I'm just gonna say const output elements. I'm just gonna say document.query selector. We're gonna add that output. Nice. And inside that output element, let's just go back here. Let's make it readable. Here I'm just gonna say outputs. I'm just gonna say here output element, it's dot. I'm just gonna say output dot append child user question. Now after that, what I am going to do, I'm gonna create a variable here. I'm just gonna say let HTML content equals to nothing for now, empty string. Then when I go down, when this function runs, I'm just gonna say here, before the function runs, the API got fetched. I'm just gonna say here HTML content equals to output element dot get inner HTML. Output element dot get inner HTML. There we go. Inner HTML, like so. And now if I hit save, I go down a little bit to here. I'm just gonna remove this and remove this. Let's make our try catch here, try catch, and make this here. And inside that, what I am going to do, I'm gonna grab also this. What I am going to do here, I'm just gonna check for the data that we get from the API. I'm just gonna say here if data dot choices, because remember what we got from the API is this data. Let's check it here so we can see what we can do. Let's say here, for example, hi. I click. As you can see this add here, but for now I'm just gonna see what we have here. So we got choices and the first element, and within the message you can get I am sorry, I am. So this is what we're gonna get content. It is inside the message, which is inside the array of choices, the first element. So I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna say if data dot choices first element dot message dot content, if this exists. So we're gonna say HTML content is going to be equals HTML content plus, so we get this one, the question, and we need to add the response of the boot. I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna say template literals. We make backticks and we're gonna say dev close dev, and inside that I'm gonna say we're gonna have just a class for this dev, which is boot expense, and inside that I'm gonna add, like, first of all I'm gonna add the image for the ChatGPT. I'm just gonna get the SVG image and I'm gonna put it here. Nice. And also I'm gonna put the data. So we need to do this syntax so we can write the variable inside the backticks, inside the string, like in JavaScript. As you can see, you need to make a $sign and write these things, and just you can go and get the variable here. I'm just gonna get this data, the choices 0. I'm just gonna put it in here. Now what I'm gonna be doing, I'm just gonna go a little bit down. I'm just gonna say output element dot inner HTML equals to this variable, which is HTML content. If I do that, and now what I am going to do, I'm gonna go to this. I'm just gonna say hi. Let's just see if we got some response from the boot. Let's just wait a little bit. here we go, we got the response. So now a quick fix, guys. I'm just gonna go and show you something. We need to get this question, this variable here inside the this methods get message, so we can update this every time we make that. And also we need to get these options. We need to take it from here and put it within here. So that's nice. We get this question. We need to take this question and put it here. That's nice, as you can see. Now if I go to the browser, I'm just gonna say 1+1 and see what we're gonna get. We are just making sure that we send in this message to the API. Let's just see what we're gonna get. And here we go, we get 2, which is really cool. Now I'm gonna go, guys, and fix this. I want to make this in the center. Let's just see what we have here. I think it's gonna be like in the center best. As you can see, I'm gonna make it here. Let's just see what we have here first. We have this one. Okay, let's just see its parent, bottom section. If I say display flex direction, let's just see column, justify content center, align item center. That's nice. As you can see, this is, we got it now in the center. This is bottom section. I'm just gonna go and copy this and go to this bottom sections here in the Visual Studio Code. CSS, what is bottom section? Just say bottom, just bottom. Oops, we don't have that, so I think we don't have that. Let's just see, or we have it, just like we're gonna search for it. So we don't have that. What we need to do, we need to create one. We just like, we need to create one. Let's just get bottom section. I'm just gonna say here in the item, what is item, let's just see this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here. Within here, I'm just gonna say bottom section, and within here I'm just gonna set the width to 100%, and also I'm just gonna say and paste that. And now let's just also, I'm gonna align the text, so just add this one, text align center. If I save, I go back here, it's always now in the center. That's really cool. If I say hi, as you can see, it's better. Let's just see what we're gonna get. Here we go. Hello, how can I assist you? That's nice. Now I'm gonna go to we're gonna go here and we need to add the history. We need to add the history of the question that we ask the boot. We need to add them here. So let's just add that. Now let's go and do that. I'm gonna go here and just here, what we're gonna be doing, we need to create like a button. So we need to say here const button element, and here I'm just gonna say document dot create element, and I'm saying a button, and I'm just gonna add a class to this button element dot class list dot add. I'm just gonna name it btn element, and down a little bit I'm just gonna say button element dot inner HTML, which is we need to add inside that, like we need to have a SVG. I'm just gonna go and get that SVG, which is SVG of like a message. I'm just gonna get that. Let's just get the SVG. I'm getting it. Let's just a little bit. Don't worry about this. I'm gonna put all the SVGs on the GitHub. So I'm gonna go now here. I'm just gonna put it here. As you can see, this is our SVG. Oops. We need to make sure, like so. And I'm gonna say backticks. Put it inside that. As you can see, we have the SVG now. Let's just minimize that a little bit. Okay, nice. So this is our SVG. As you can see, we need also to add like a div. I'm just gonna go here. I'm just gonna say like div, close the div, and within here we need to add a class of question container, and inside that we're going to have a span, and I'm gonna give a class for this span. I'm just gonna say question. Now within here we need to add a variable. I'm just gonna say like we have input dot value, because we want to get this message that we have here in the input and put it on this button. So now we have done that. What we need to do now is we need to add this thing, this button, to the history here, which exists inside the sidebar. So we need to add it here. So we have the history, as you can see. Let's just see, inspect that and see what we have. If we go back here, we have the history, but it's empty. So I am going to like go to the script, and down here I'm just gonna say history. Not here. History dot. I'm just gonna say like append. What we need to append is like a button element. So we need to create this one here. So let's just create this element. I'm just gonna say const history equals to document. We need to get it, not creating, just query selector. I'm just gonna say like so. This is ID, or this is a class, so we need to get it point of history. That's nice. If I go back here, let's just test that out now. I'm just gonna close that, say hi. If I click on that, when we get to response, we need to see that button added here. Let's just see that. Here we go. That button gets added. But we need to add some style to it. So let's just add the style. I'm gonna go to the Visual Studio Code, go to style, and within here we need to style it. So I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna say, let's just see what is the sidebar. Okay, this is the sidebar. I'm gonna go here, sidebar new chat. I'm just gonna say button elements. That's how we named it, that element. And I'm just gonna say display flex, and also let's just see how does that work. Like so. Let's just say also display flex, and also I'm just gonna say align items center. We need to say justify content center, and also we need to say like justify content. We need to make it. Let's just start, but for now let's just let it center. I will show you why. And we're gonna have some margin from the top left and right, from all the corners, and also we need to set some there width. Let's just say it 280 pixel. Let's just save that. I'm gonna go here. As you can see now, we got that. but it's very big. Let's just minimize this. I'm just gonna say, for example, 200 or something like that. Let's just see spawn element. Oops, if we say 200 pixel, let's just see what we that's nice. Let's just set it 200 pixel. What about this? Let's just see what we have here, how much we gave to this. 200 pixel. I think we need to give 200 pixel here, guys. I'm just gonna say 200 pixel. Here we go. Let's just save, and there we go. As you can see, but I want this to be I don't want this to be in the center. I want it to be in the start. I'm just gonna say here, like, we have starts. If I do that, I hit save, as you can see now we got this on the start, which is really cool. And also we want to center this, so if we go back here, just like you need to say text align center or something like that. This is like the nav. If you say here text align center, you're gonna get it in the center. As you can see, this is nav. I'm just gonna go here and search for nav. We don't have, so let's just see its class nav. I'm gonna go down a little bit, and within here I'm just gonna say nav text align center. Hit save, and there we go. So now I think everything is okay. Let's just go here and say 4 plus 4. I hit submit. We're gonna wait a little bit, and as you can see, it's gonna add it here. Now what I want to do, guys, I want to clear this after we get this added here. I want to clear this, and when you click on this, for example, you're gonna get this high on this input, like you get in this message and put it in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, we're gonna go to set like an event on this, and also we're gonna make a function that's clearing this one. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go to the script. I'm just gonna go and say, like, after we finish this, we need to say input dot value equals to nothing. Let's just see what we're gonna get. If I do hi, I do this one, I submit, and see what we're gonna get. Keep watching this one, it's gonna be cleared after we get the response. Let's just see, because this free version, it gets some times to get the response, but let's just refresh again, just say hi, submit again. Let's just see if we get some response. It takes some time. Yeah, now as you can see now, guys, this input gets cleared, and now what we need to do, we need to make this clickable, and we need to, like, when we click on this one, we need to get this message and put it here. So let's just see what we're gonna get, what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna go and, like, we have here important, inside that we have div question container and span question. So we need to get this question from this text from the question span, like class, question class. I'm just gonna go and say, and within here I'm just gonna go and say, like, we need to add an event to the barn element. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say barn element dot add event listener. Oops. And here it's click, and what we need to do is, like, we can have function with in here we need to like change the input, and what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna say input dot value equals to what? Equals to this one, which is equals to this. We're gonna get this one. Okay, so like console.log for now, just console.log. We want to see what we have here, current target, and we need to see what we get here. Let's just test that out. I'm just gonna say +1, just like that, send. Let's see what we get here, so we can see what we can do. We're gonna wait for the response, and taking some time. Okay, now we get the response, as you can see here. So basically, if I do click on this one, because we have here like parent element dot add event listener, if I do click on that, we need to get this console. I'm just gonna click on that. We got that console, and inside that we have SVG, which is this one, and also we have div. Inside that div we have a span that with a class of question and 16 plus 1. So we need to get this. How we can do that? We need to say here like current targets dot like query selector. We need to get the question dot text content. Content. Like so. If I do now go here and say hi, for example, and click on the submit, let's just check what we're gonna get. So now when we get the response, this question and this text, we need to add it to the input. So we're gonna say input dot value equals to this thing here, so that we can add it here. So as you can see, we get the response. If I click on that, even the current target question is not a function. Oh, this one, yeah, we have mistake here. We need to say here current target dot query selector, and like so, and we need to add here point. Let's just do that again. Let's just see hi. I have current target dot query selector dot question and the text content. So let's just see what we're gonna get. Now when we get that, I click on that. As you can see, now we get the hi, which is this one. So now what I'm gonna do in, I'm just gonna say input dot value equals to this thing here. So let's just do that, and here we go. Let's just go back here, say hi, and click submit. By the way, I want to remove this from here exactly when we click on the button. I'm just gonna go to this get message. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm gonna get this one and put it over when we click this get. I'm just gonna do it here like so. Let's just go back here, say hi. Now when you can say and you click on this, this is gonna be disappeared exactly at the same time when you click this button. As you can see now, this is get removed, but it's not get. Why it's not getting here? Oh yeah, that's because we said here input.value is nothing. Yeah, that's exactly because when we do that here, we erase this input value. As you can see, we are using it here, so we are erasing it here. So I'm just gonna put it here, get it back here. So get it back here. Let's just go back, put it here. Okay. So let's just say hi, click on that. Let's just do it a little bit. As you can see now, we got the response. If I click on this, as you can see, we are getting this high here. So that's really cool. So guys, if you notice something, we have some space here, we need to remove that. So the way we do that is we go to this, and here we need to say replace. We need to replace the this space with nothing. So we need to use regular expression. Just paste this and everything is gonna be okay. We need to replace the space, white space, with nothing, like so. Let's just save that. I'm gonna go here, I'm just gonna say hi and submit, and let's just see what we're gonna get. Let's just get a response. Wait a little bit, and now we get a response. If I click on this, as you can see now, the space, white space, got removed. That's nice. Now guys, I want to add the k functionality. So when you do, for example, here 1 plus 1, and when you click enter, it's gonna be run this function, send message, which is this one. So you will have two choices. If you click on the submit, it's gonna be send and submit, and if you click on the enter k, it's gonna send also. So this is okay handler. So how to do that? So we need to go to the here, and I'm just gonna go to the events, and within here I'm just going to say input, which is this one dot I am going to say like add event listener, and we're gonna say k up, and we need to do our function here. So I'm gonna say like I'm gonna say if event, which is it's gonna be here. Oops. If event dot k equals to enter, we want to end the input dot value dot length straight greater than 0. What we need to do, why we're doing this? So we want to how we can say, make sure that we have some text here. So I don't want to, for example, click enter and get sent the submitting with empty message. So that's why I add this condition here. So I'm gonna say here run the get message. That's really cool. Now if I do that, I go here, I say hi and hit enter. As you can see, it's gonna be sent here, which is really cool. Let's just wait that and see that this is working. Takes some time to get the response because this is free version, guys. So every time you need to pay so you can get fast response and get new features. So if I do, for example, also if I do 1 plus 1, I hit enter, it's gonna send. As you can see, I'm just gonna go say 1 plus 1, hit enter and wait. So we can get the response. Let's just see. As you can see, we get the response here, which is really cool. A quick fix, guys. I just wanted to you see this one, I just wanted to put it here down. So I'm gonna go here, I'm just gonna say like I'm gonna go to sidebar, and I'm gonna say like sidebar, I'm going to say next direction, justify content, space, between, like so. If I do that, as you can see now, it is here. If I do hi, enter, let's see what we're gonna get. We're gonna get the history here, as you can see. I'll just wait a little bit. I'm gonna go to style and search for sidebar. Oops, which is this one. Here you need to say like justify content space between. Just say that. That's nice. Now we got it here. That's really cool. And I think now, guys, this is it. This is the end of this course. I hope you doing great with this, you enjoyed it. And what I want to say, guys, is now there is some features that I didn't do here. I want you to do it, which is like this is not responsive. As you can see, you can make it by using CSS. You could just like make, like, if you go here, you could just make a navbar and make media queries when you reach this area. When you reach, for example, this width, you need to hide this one and say display, and say display block to the, for example, the navigation bar, the top navigation bar, and add those navigation links there. And there we go. This is it. It's easy. You can just make like display flex and you can play around that, and that's it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We did the basics of this API, ChatGPT API, and that's really cool. As you can see, we did this history, we did this, we got a response, we did many features. So I hope you enjoyed it, and here we go. See you soon. Bye bye.